You built you. You run you. Be the CEO of you. This is C.You.O. You run you. Born to build, raised to run, made to
Because if you
lead.
don't do it, who's gonna do it?
Is C.You.O. The silence that builds leaders. Sometimes the moment you start becoming the person you're meant to be is the exact moment the room gets quiet. And that is usually the moment when most people quit. They go back to normal, back to comfort, back to distractions, because growth requires things most people avoid: discipline, patience, sacrifice, lonely decisions, and the courage to keep moving forward, even when no one is watching. Maybe you know exactly what that feels like. Maybe you started protecting your time. Maybe you stopped entertaining distractions. Maybe you started focusing on your future and suddenly the energy around you changed. Friends disappeared. Conversations felt different. The room got quieter, and for a moment it felt like the price of growth was loneliness. But here's what most people don't realize: the quiet season is where the strongest leaders are built. Because the moment you stop waiting for direction and start leading yourself is the moment you become the C.You.O. And today, we're going to talk about the loneliest level of leadership, the quiet climb, the empty rooms, and why those moments might actually be the most important part of becoming who you are meant to be. This is C.You.O. Leadership rarely begins in a crowded room. It usually begins in silence, a decision, a realization, a moment when you look at your life honestly and think, can I do better than this? Not better than everyone else, better than the person you were yesterday. And when that shift happens inside you, something subtle begins to change. Your priorities shift, your focus sharpens, your tolerance for wasted time disappears, and the things that once entertained you no longer feel satisfying. That moment can feel confusing because part of you is growing while the other part of you still remembers the comfort of the old life. That tension, that's transformation. Think about climbing a mountain. At the bottom, there are crowds, noise, movement, energy everywhere. But the higher you climb, the quieter it becomes. The air gets thinner, the path gets steeper, and suddenly you notice something. Not everyone is climbing anymore. Not everyone can breathe at that altitude. And for a moment, you might wonder if something is wrong. But nothing is wrong. That's just elevation. The higher you climb, the fewer people can go with you. When you begin focusing on your life with discipline, some people will misunderstand it. They will say you changed. They will say you became distant. They will say you are different. And they are right, because you are different. The version of you that is growing cannot live the same way the old version did. Focus requires sacrifice. Sacrifice creates space, and that space often feels like loneliness. But loneliness is not always a sign of loss. Sometimes it's a sign of clarity. Think about it this way. You walk into a gym at 5 in the morning. It's quiet. The parking lot is almost empty. No crowds, no noise, just a few people working. Sweat, discipline, repetition. The people in that room understand something. Strength is not built in comfort. Strength is built in commitment. No applause, no audience, just work. And when the rest of the world wakes up, they see the results. But they never saw the quiet work that built it. Leadership works the same way. Now, here is something interesting that happens during the journey. Eventually, the discipline begins to show. The habits begin to compound. The progress becomes visible. And suddenly, people start showing up again. The same rooms that once felt empty begin to fill. The same voices that were quiet begin to speak. And that moment brings a different challenge of climbing. But the challenge of staying grounded once the spotlight appears, because success attracts attention. And attention can easily distract you from the discipline that built your success in the first place. Let's look at the stage. Think about a stage. When the spotlight turns on, everyone gathers near it. Everyone wants to stand in the light. But what most people don't see is that the stage was built long before the spotlight arrived. Someone carried the wood. Someone built the structure. Someone worked in the dark when the light finally turns on. People assume it happened overnight, but you know the truth because you were there when it was quiet. The most important thing you must protect when success begins to appear is the person you became during the quiet season. That version of you is disciplined, focused, clear, humble. That version of you knows what it took to get here. Because the world celebrates the comeback, but only you remember the nights that built it. The empty rooms, the hard decisions, the moment when quitting would have been easier. But you kept going. Encouragement. If life feels quiet for you right now, if it feels like the room has gotten smaller, if it feels like the journey is lonely, I want you to hear this clearly. That quiet season might not be punishment. It might be preparation. Some of the most powerful transformations in life happen in silence. When nobody is clapping, when nobody is watching, and when nobody even understands what you are becoming. But one day, they will see it. And when they do, they will think it happened overnight. Only you will know the truth. Because the moment you stop waiting for someone else to lead your life and you start leading yourself is the moment you become the C.You.O. Ask yourself one question. If nobody ever applauded your growth, would you still become who you are meant to be? Because real leadership does not begin with followers. It begins with responsibility. So tomorrow, take one action that moves your life forward. Protect your time, protect your discipline, protect your vision, because the moment you start leading yourself is the moment you become the C.You.O. This is C.You.O. Podcast. I'll see you next time in the boardroom. Thank you for tuning in to the C.You.O. Podcast, a safe space for you to focus on you. Don't forget to subscribe, join the email list, and follow us on social media for daily encouragement. Remember, showing up for yourself first is the most powerful way to show up for others. Until next time, keep leading, keep growing, and keep choosing you.